Anyone who partakes in fitness knows very well that just as important as maintaining our fitness level, it is also important to challenge ourselves, to push further, to cross new boundaries, and to see what else is possible for us to accomplish. We here on this channel are no strangers to challenges, but this week I wanted to take things a little bit further, and not just do it for a day, because anyone could do something for a day. What can we do in a week? But just who to emulate for this challenge? Perhaps someone like Rocky Balboa or Spider-Man? Wait a minute. Aquaman! The Dark Knight has existed for nearly 80 years now, but consistent throughout all the various versions of the Caped Crusader that have existed is his persistence. After one very, very bad night, Bruce Wayne dedicated himself over his entire lifetime to eradicate all crime in his home city. And to do that, he pushed himself as far as he could, both physically and mentally, travelling the world, learning from various different experts in martial arts, in science, in criminology. And that is inspiring for everyone, to show what can be achieved if you just put your mind to it. The persistence of the human will, the dominance of the human spirit. If I can even get close to emulating that, even at 10% in just 1 week, that will be quite something to consider. Step 1. Hey mum, you got a minute? Although considering how for this week I am pretty much telling you I'm going to be Batman for the week, I've kind of already blown my secret identity, so it's safe to say that when I first said I would be doing this challenge to people, they thought I was going a bit batty.
You're mad.
Thank goodness for that, because if I wasn't, this would probably never work.
Day 1 began with a 5 AM jog. I didn't know what to expect on this first day. It had been quite some time since I had been jogging for one thing, so I didn't know how I would do on that front. So this would very much set the standard for how the week would go. For how it went really well. I didn't even trip over or anything, so I consider that already a win. But once I got home, it came to breakfast. Now during breakfast I would normally just be scrolling through social media, but not this week. This week I decided to dedicate myself to trying to further my mind as well as my body. Next came my workout, and pretty simply I just decided to take my evening workout, which I normally do, and just move that to the morning as well. So do it twice in one day.
Because it means most people draw the conclusion from being victimized that victimizing is a bad idea. So thank God for that, and I think that's one of the pieces of evidence that people are essentially good, even though they're strongly tempted to evil. So now you went out, you talked to all these educated people.
As I then moved into my martial arts training, I found that my energy levels were actually pretty good. I was not expecting to be so fine. But of course we all know, not just does Batman dedicate himself as Batman, he also is Bruce Wayne, a billionaire playboy philanthropist. And I am neither a billionaire, a playboy, or a philanthropist, so how close could I get to that? So I just decided to further myself with my business on martial arts teaching, while doing it in a more business-like manner. Now quite paradoxically from, in terms of aftershave, I was formerly using this one, didn't focus, this one, which of course has the bat symbol on it. It was just a generic one that came out of a toiletry pack I got one Christmas. But after using that one up, I've now moved on to Armani Code, which I think will be more in line with what Bruce Wayne or someone of that caliber would use. So, bearing in mind I only have really just one suit, so I'm just going to have to wear that suit into the ground. Well, I've just come back from making a trip to the bank, so really was a good thing I'm dressed like this then. I've got some other work to do, because I have, of course, I have the second channel, which I just have done nothing with. I haven't used it for months, even though it's just sitting right there, so my focus this week, aside from doing research for one video, is to build up that second channel a bit more. I will confess, wearing a suit out to go and do things, it gave me a sort of sense of imposter syndrome. But wearing a suit felt wrong in my eyes. Because normally I would just wear something like this, just a regular t-shirt and jeans. Maybe this adds as well to the duality of the character of the Batman and Bruce Wayne sides. How sometimes there is that idea that Batman is the true face and Bruce Wayne is in fact the mask. I could see that being more of a reality as I went through my day wearing this suit, because it didn't feel like me. It felt like just something I was wearing. But as the day winded down, I felt myself being very optimistic about how the week would go. As the first day had been so great, I thought, tomorrow will be just as good as the first day. Boy, was I wrong.
And we are back. Welcome to Tuesday.
Day 2 saw all the aches and pains that I thought would come on day 1. It was much slower during the jog, my legs were feeling a lot more painful, and it even became more difficult to just stay awake during breakfast. Which just adds to the dedication that a character such as Batman puts into what he does, because he doesn't just do this thing for a week, he would do this for all his life, or most of his adult life. So, I have already filmed the second channel video for today, so I'm going to start editing it now. Day 3, things were beginning to level out again. What I think I was starting to see was that I was going to be going on the downward trend, peter a bit, and then start to move upwards again. If so, then Wednesday was definitely the petering day. Let's carry on. I've got all the research to do now for next video. I've done half the research, so I've got just another little bit I need to do, and then that's pretty much it done. Research is all done, so now I'm just getting on to doing some other bits of work before I need to go to a meeting. I'm just looking at the analytics, the second channel, so I'm just having a look now. First video on Monday did quite well. 102 views, 3 comments, 2 likes. Very good. One yesterday didn't do too well, but I'm thinking that was because I posted it earlier in the afternoon, whereas the first one I posted later. So that might be playing a role. So So I'm going to try posting today's one a bit later. But I still thought to myself, well, if this is how it feels to do just all this is all the prep you have to mind in. How does it feel also, as Batman, to also do things like fighting? Like fighting the criminals of Gotham City. Adding that on top and doing the nightly patrols and such. Doing that as well. How does he do it all? I think something as well is just the idea of optimization. Because you have to, probably optimize everything you do, every minute of every day, in order to just function. It felt quite isolating, in a way. But I was determined that on Thursday, I would come back stronger than ever before.
I'm not finished yet. And you're not finished with me. You're never finished with me.
then came to Friday, the final day. I was determined to finish this week off on a high note. Reflecting on this week, it is strange to think of just that I did all of this, and yet the benchmark is infinitely higher. In some ways that kind of makes sense, because Batman is fictional, and so fictional characters can just do seemingly impossible things just so easily. But I thought to myself, if I could do this for a week, and find it difficult but still accomplish, think of how much better things could be if I could do all of this, plus the extra incentive of even just doing sparring, which I didn't get to do this week, and add that on top, how much better things could get. It puts it into perspective even further. In the description below, I'll put in the schedule of what I did on each day, so that perhaps you can try this schedule yourself for a week, or perhaps even a month if you want to extend it further than I did. And since we always want to improve ourselves, perhaps I'll do a part 2 where I actually incorporate some sparring in as well. But that'll have to do it for this week, everyone. Until next time, thank you all for watching, and peace be with you.